Hello, welcome to Football Now, a new YouTube channel where we will be here week in, week out, predicting the new Premier League games and running you through the betting odds. I'm joined by Connor. First of all, how are you doing?
Oh, you know me, Brad. I never complain about anything. I'm loving life. I'm loving talking about football with you. I'd rather do nothing else.
We've got Fulham versus Luton Town in this video. Kick off at 3 o'clock at Craven Cottage. First of all, do you want to talk us through the odds for the game?
Yeah, I mean it's not looking good for Luton. I mean you're getting about 4-6 for Fulham at home to beat Luton. And again, there's a lot of good value in that. I've got a lot of respect for Luton. I think the fact that they're even in the Premier League is just fantastic. It should be lauded, but Fulham, number one, since coming up to the Premier League, they've been very, very good. I know they've lost Mitrovic, but even still, they've been good. Luton, they're one of only two teams not to get a point yet. They have played one less game than everybody else, but I do fear for Luton this season. I feel like not quite a Derby County, but I don't think they'll be far off. And I know I'm going to probably anger a lot of Luton fans there, but I think Fulham will be very comfortable winners in this 4-6. I think that is such good value. A bit like Aston Villa. If you've not watched that video, go and watch it. But it's two real good value bets there.
Yeah, you've mentioned Fulham. First of all, they have lost Mitrovic, who is their main goal scorer. I'm looking at the squad now, and they brought players in, but you do wonder where the goals will come from. They brought in Jimenez from Wolves. I know a couple of years ago was
Yeah,
he was a proven goal scorer in the Premier League. He's had that head injury. I don't think he's quite been the same since. Adama Traore is also coming from Wolves on a free. They've got Decado Reed, who's been there a while now. Willian and Alex Iwobi as well joining from Everton. What do you make of this Fulham side?
I think it'd be interesting. I don't. I think if you look at last season, I mean they were fantastic last season, but their end of the season wasn't great. Mitrovic was really important for them. They've lost him now, so I'm a little bit concerned about where the goals are going to come from. They've made a few signings. He's unfortunately injured. We won't see him this weekend, but I think he's going to be a good signing. It's going to be a huge loss for Everton. Um, I think I think it depends what their expectations are. And it's when you've had a good season, it is easy to try and set lofty expectations. But I think if Fulham can sort of get mid-table mid-table finish and then just sort of build off of that, and then look at bringing a striker either January or next summer, I think it'll be a good season for them. In this particular fixture, I think they're comfortable 3-4-0. Like I said, I think Luton are really going to struggle. And what's not good for Luton fans is that the last time they played was in May last year in the Championship, and it was 7-0 to Fulham. I couldn't even count that without getting my fingers and thumbs out. Um, so I think it'll be a long day at the office. I mean, Luton showed a bit of promise last time out. They only narrowly lost to West Ham in their first home game in the Premier League. Um, but yeah, it'll be a long day for Luton. I think if they can get anything from this game, it'll be a really good result for them.
Yeah, if we looking at Fulham, like you said, we've mentioned there, Mitrovic. You've got a few injuries here. Tom Kearney, Sasa Lukic, Iwobi, who you mentioned, and Palhinha, who of course looked like he was on the way to Bayern Munich. I think he was even in Germany at some point. And
Yeah, that's to come back home.
yeah, he had to do a U-turn and head straight back to London. But it says here he's out for other. I assume his head, that's almost like a hangover from the transfer. But it's a real coup that they've managed to keep him. I think he was a big player for them last year. As a Liverpool fan, again, we were linked with everyone who played in midfield, but there's another name that we were linked with.
Yeah.
Like
It's
we've
just sort of
mentioned,
what mental space it'll be, and like you said, that move to Munich is going to fall through. And it's not just any club. It's Bayern Munich. I mean, they've just signed Harry Kane, absolutely massive club. So yeah, when he does return, it'll be interesting to see where his headspace is at.
we've mentioned as well a potential lack of goals. Whether it'll be an issue in this game, I don't know for Fulham. But moving forward throughout the season, I think one positive for them that they did manage to keep hold of Marco Silva, who also looked like he could be heading to
Yes.
Salah at some point. But I'm a bit more optimistic for Luton than you are. I think I've got a sneaky feeling they might be able to nick a draw. Maybe I'm probably going to be made to look stupid now. They've brought a few players in. Ryan Giles from Wolves, Tahith Chong, who I know showed a lot of promise in the Championship for Birmingham. Also brought in Ross Barkley as well, who we know over here it's not quite happened for him in his career as we thought it might. But I don't know, like you said, they had a lot of chances against West Ham. I think the problem was they didn't take them.
Yeah, I mean, I think one hope that Luton might have is that Fulham have been really poor defensively this season. I mean, both teams have, but Fulham have one of the worst defensive records so far. Although 5 of the goals at the shits was against Man City, we kind of let people off if they concede 5 or 6 against Man City because it is Man City. But yeah, even still, I know you're leaning towards a draw. I know I put Luton in the same conversation as Derby County. Maybe that was a little harsh. We'll see. Maybe it's a bit premature there, but I just can't see it. I just really, really can't see it. I think Fulham. I think if Fulham don't get 3 points here, then I think, given the fact that they've lost Mitrovic, they've been poor defensively. I think anything but 3 points, and Fulham fans will be a little bit concerned.
Yeah, I think if Luton are to stand any chance of staying up in the league, they need their strikers to be doing the business. We saw Carlton Morris. I think he got their first goal of the season from the penalty spot against Brighton on the opening day. Adebayo as well and Ogbeni around him. They need their goals. I think that, like I said, that could be a problem for Fulham too. Whether that will play out this weekend, I don't know. It is a difficult one to call, I think, because I still think we're almost learning still about Luton and how they're going to adapt to the Premier League. You don't really know what to expect, but like you said,
I think it's hard. I think it's hard for Luton as well because obviously with everything going on with their stadium, they've had to play a lot of away games. And also, I think the table looks worse than what it is because they have played one less game. It's no surprise that the 2 teams that haven't picked up a point this season have played one less game. So, it does make a difference that extra game. But it's a crucial game. I think if Luton can get anything, it'll be a really good platform to build off of.
Yeah. I'm looking at Luton's games now. The games they have played have been Brighton away, Chelsea away, and West Ham at home. I know Chelsea aren't the team that they once were. They certainly aren't the Chelsea that I watched growing up, but it's never an easy place to go, especially when you're still finding your feet in the new league. It's like you said, you want to get points on the board early, particularly before you get that big cluster of games at Christmas, where I think a lot of the time that can do a lot of damage.
That really does test your squad depth.
Yeah, and you're playing every 2 or 3 days. All it takes is a couple of, a bad run, and you can really find yourself, looking up at the rest of the league. What is your prediction then if you had to go for a score? I think you went heavy earlier.
Yeah, I'm going to say 3-0 to Fulham. Even with their poor defensive record, I think, again, it's a bit skewed because, they shipped 5 against Man City. I think it is all about the strikers for Luton, and I think it takes time to adapt in the Premier League. So, I think Fulham will keep a clean sheet and win this comfortably. So 4-6 for Fulham, I think is really good value. 3-0 is where I'm going for Fulham.
We see the draw there, 3-1. I'm going to nail my flag to the mast and take a risk. Probably made to look stupid, but I'm going to go 1-1. I'm optimistic that Luton can perhaps get their first point on the board. I'm sure they'll probably end up getting slapped 4 or 5-0 now I said that, but we'll see. I'm holding out hope for Luton.
All right, I've jinxed it. We've both jinxed it, so Luton are probably going to win about 5-0.
Yeah, I'll go the other way. Right, that is our Fulham versus Luton Town prediction. Let us know your prediction as well in the comments down below, and check out the channel for all the other previews for this weekend. Next up is Man United versus Brighton.